We are very excited because we've got the best comedian in the world.
That's what it's officially. It's been proven.
Comedians love it when you introduce them as the best comedian in the world.
Yes, especially when it's true, which it is true.
Doug Stanhope is here in enormous studio audience.
They love it. They love it.
That is the worst fuck with.
It is. It's horrible. I know.
And the audience never knows when you bring someone up on stage and say, this next comic is the best comic you will ever see. Strap in. There's nothing that will ever top this next. And
it's what you do to really mess with a comic.
Yeah, you fuck with your friend.
You fuck with your friend to do it. This is the greatest guy ever. If you don't laugh at this guy, you hate America.
Every single word that comes out of his mouth is pure gold.
He's in no way offensive. You just can't take offense with this guy. You can't take offense.
From start to finish, his opening joke alone is a million closers.
Listen, in your book, This Is Not Fame, which you're going to have to explain the title to me in a minute, but I just noticed on the front, it's got a foreword by Drew Pinsky, Dr. Drew Pinsky, MD. Now, what I know about you is, what I think I know about you is you're not a fan of Drew Pinsky.
I have never excoriated? Is that a big... Why am I trying to use big words?
That's because I'm from another country. Yeah, I get it. Yeah. But I don't know what excoriated means.
I'll look it
I've
up.
never shit on someone as hard personally in my act on
another human being
on a special that was aired as much as I did Drew Pinsky.
And
then after that special came out where I shit on him, I got an invite to be on his podcast. And I'm sitting out there with my cocktail, shaky-handed, going, "This is a setup. There's got to be there's an angle." And I went on the air and I said, "All right, let's cut to the quick.
Let's go."
Well, I'm not here for no reason. I'm not famous. He goes, "Well, I know that you talk shit about me, but I never listen to it. My ego's too easily bruised to." And I immediately...
So he doesn't know, then, what you said about him still, to this day?
I don't know to this day, but since then, we've become friends, and he's helped me out in a few pickles, and he's been an ally, and he's a great guy. Everything I say about his show, Celebrity Rehab, I stand by, but he's a fucking solid dude.
Well, you got to separate the art from the artist, I guess.
That's true.
Although is it art? Is Celebrity Rehab art? No, it's not. No, it's not. But I got into a lot of that when I was doing late night. That was a real problem. Because you start like shitting on people, and then you meet them. Or they come on to be guests in the show.
They become human beings.
I'm totally wrong. It's like, you have to be a serial killer about it. You have to say, it rubs the lotion on its skin. Because once they become human, you can't do it.
I didn't like you at all.
Now? Or still don't?
No. I don't ever watch late night talk shows.
I agree.
Remember early on, before I was even a comedian, I was tripping, doing acid or mushrooms or both.
Very similar effect.
But I remember watching Letterman, and where it became crystal clear that this is even more scripted than a sitcom.
Yeah.
I heard that you like to water ski.
So you just bought a house.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I caught on. Oh, this is all bullshit. And I never could watch late night since then.
Right.
But I remember seeing your giant squash.
Yeah.
Just flipping channels, like coming in and out of that kind of fisheye lens thing. And the accent, and I bucked that.
No!
But,
boo!
Yeah, just.
Of course,
you make knee jerk.
Of course, absolutely. I get it.
But when you were on Stern, and you were a human being, and fucking loved you. There's a couple people that have been on Stern that I just dismissed outright, like you do. Dennis Leary.
Right.
Because of the Bill Hicks thing. He stole Bill Hicks, and I grew up with...
Yeah. There's that legend. I don't know much about it, but I've heard a little bit about it.
It was a thing.
Right.
When in the 90s, you had to hate Carrot Top as a
Right,
comedian.
I remember that. Yeah.
But you meet Scott Thompson.
And he's lovely.
He's the fucking best guy ever.
I know. He was one of the ones I was going to bring up. Because I used to shit on him all the time, and then he would come on the show. And here's the thing about Scott Thompson's show as well, about Carrot Top's show. I defy you to go and see that show and not laugh. He'll make you laugh. He'll wear you down. He just and here's the thing, and here's what about a redneck wearing a sweater? And he just keeps going, and eventually you'll laugh.
And it's not like he's stealing our jobs.
No.
No one's going Doug Stanhope or Carrot Top. It's not a threat, but you're ingrained in, like, when you start in comedy.
Yeah.
There's some politics that you just, I don't know why I listen to that.
I think young people do all of that. You have to pick a side. It's like it's like all the time. It's like, yeah, everything has to be a movement. Everything has to be, it's like, we're now part of a movement that's going to eradicate cargo pants from society. It's like, oh, fuck off. It's not a movement. It's cargo pants. And if somebody wants to wear them, just let them, for heaven's sake. Although I don't approve of cargo pants. But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like everything has to be a movement. I don't understand it. It's like you always have to pick a side. This is what happened to the country.
It's the only reason, the only good thing about aging is honestly not giving a fuck.
Yes. Yeah, that's true.
Everything else hurts, but you go, I used to pretend to not care. Now I really don't.
You really don't care, I know. That you must
so
be,
free.
Are you creeping up on 50 by any chance?
50.
Yeah. See, I'm 55. That's what it is. And right about then I started to go, wait a fucking minute. And I started to, when I was 50, because that was 2 years before I finished in late night, 50, I was like, I'm not doing this anymore. And my wife was like, yeah, you've been saying that for a while. And I went, no, I'm not doing it anymore. She went, what do you mean? I went, I can't explain the difference. So I went, because I went at CBS, were like, well, you can stay on and let's do another company. I'm like, no, I don't want to do it anymore. And people in the press are like, oh, you must be crushed not to get Letterman's job. And you go, I don't know if you guys know this, but I quit.
They will not tolerate that in Hollywood. They can't understand I don't give a fuck anymore.
I don't care. I don't fucking care. Call me what you like. I'm not part of your fucking gang. I'm not going to do it. And it's so odd. Like, because comedians, right, what you're asked to do is be an outsider and say inappropriate, naughty, difficult things. And then when you do exactly what the job description is, they're like, how dare you say inappropriate, naughty, difficult things? You go, well, that's what you guys wanted me to do, surely.
Yeah, that's
the job.
When I was on the Man Show, we had to do sexual harassment training where, but the whole show is
is sexual harassment.
Yeah, that's what.
It's a very difficult time because sexual harassment is an interesting one because you can't make jokes about it. Or, I've heard people say you can't make jokes about it. You go, well, I don't know. If you can make jokes about cancer, if you can make jokes about death, if you can make jokes about Hitler, then you can make jokes about sexual harassment. It just has to be a good joke. You got to make good jokes. That's all.
I use that as a segue in my act where I go, they say rape jokes are never funny, but I've been doing this for almost 30 years. And when I started, they said the same thing about AIDS jokes. Mm-hmm. A decade later, 9/11 jokes. Look at those topics now. Hilarious again. Ride it out. It's like the tide. It comes in. There's always something. But I'm like, I've been doing it long enough that I have an ingrained audience. My audience knows what they're in for.
Right.
I don't work for anyone. I don't have sponsors.
Right.
You can't fire me.
Have you ever been drawn into it? Because a couple of times I've taken gigs and it's made, and late night was one of them. I won't deny it, where you think, if I say this, I'm going to get in too much trouble. I'm not going to say it.
But yeah, I don't have.
Yeah, but have you never been drawn into that? Like maybe do a corporate gig or nothing? You've never. Man, you are pure. You're one of the last pure stand-ups then.
Well, that's all I have.
That's great.
They're not throwing offers at my doorstep, but I do have a rabid, underground, small niche fan base, and they're the only people that can fire me. There's stories in this book that are way worse than any shit that all these people that are getting outed for stuff. Right. I'm selling my story. No one's Me Tooing me.
Well, I think what the thing is but you're not working for a large corporation. So what are they going to do? You can't fire you from yourself.
First of all, we could not have planned this when we submitted the final draft, knowing what's going to be happening now. But there's a picture in there.
I'm going to look. Hang on. Let me get to the pictures. Yes.
Of me.
With your penis out.
Oh, yeah, but below that, where I'm pulling half of my dick out in front of Louis C.K.
Oh, my God.
I pulled my dick out in front of the abusers.
Wow.
Well, you know what? That's kind of like you turned it around.
Yeah.
And you made it funny. Oh, my God. That's right.
First of all, the chapter is about. I used to pull my dick out all the time on stage. Just
I can see
like a go-to.
Well, it's a pretty big penis, though. I think. I mean, to be fair, yeah.
I'd fluff.
Yeah.
For the camera.
Okay. Yeah. No, I understand that. Okay. Oh boy. All right. Yeah. No, the pictures alone.
Point being, like, no one gives a shit if you're not going to show shame. Right. If you're not going to apologize, no one cares. I just rock and roll bands. Like, oh, you're going to pull Kevin Spacey off of House of Cards. Are you going to pull Led Zeppelin off of iTunes? Because they fucked a girl with a fish.
Yes,
and that was just one of the stories.
I think, you know what it is? I think it is that when it's the hypocrisy of it, it's sort of like, you know, we, the Academy, care deeply about that. Do you fuck? You care about one thing, money. That's all you care about. It's all you've ever cared about, money. You know, we in Hollywood provide a safe environment. Fuck you. All you care about is money. And this is what they care about is money. They want to get sued. You know, so it's like, oh, yes, we provide a safe environment for, money.
They don't believe that you don't want to do anything but sit in a shed on your property.
It's on my property, though. I mean, I'm here and I work for myself.
That's what I'm saying.
And I think it's great.
They won't accept that you don't want more. If you don't want more, they don't know how to fuck with you.
Well, it's that old adage, the very thing that makes them rich will make you poor. If you buy into it, you become part of, you know, it's like the internet or Los Angeles. It's only fucking dangerous if you take it seriously. If you don't take it seriously, it doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't matter. Like, you're gonna not be allowed. What? I'm not gonna be allowed on what? A fucking Good Morning America? Okay! I don't need to be on it. I don't want to be on it. You'll never be on one of our shows. Fine! It's okay.
They hate it if you can make your own way, because this city is full of intermediaries that just get a cut for, most of this city is unnecessary in the industry.
Right.
You could do this, you could do that, and there's 3 different people getting a cut to introduce you and sit at a table with you and make it boring.
How do you avoid it then? Do you have to?
I moved to a small town, Bisbee, Arizona, for the last 12 years.
Where the hell is Bisbee, Arizona?
On the Mexican border.
I see.
25 miles south of Tombstone.
Jeez. Open carry?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
For guns and beverages?
Well, beverages. Like, if I walk down my street, no one's on it.
Is it a big town, Bisbee?
No, 5,000 people.
That's kind of nice.
It's perfect.
Does it have a comedy club?
No.
So you never
I have
work
a stage I have a little room like you have here where we do our podcast, and we have a little stage. I can put 35 people in there. We do comedy shows.
We should go and do a week of shows from Bisbee.
Absolutely.
Or at least one show from Bisbee and then 4 from Tombstone.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Best audiences ever?
I imagine, yeah. Why Bisbee? What's your connection to Bisbee?
Found it randomly. Had I guess it was 2002, where I had a gig in Scottsdale, 3 days off before El Paso. Right. So I had 3 days to kill. So we're just taking back roads and went through Bisbee, and it's this fascinating old mining town from the turn of the century. Mine went bust. So it's this gorgeous little tiny nugget of nobody knows it. And
how do people make a living in Bisbee then? Do they all have podcasts?
Most people I know, disability.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And they're all more able than I am.
All right.
But somehow mental illness, bad back, something, or they're just like do handyman work.
Jeez Louise.
Wow. Never heard of it.
It sounds interesting. I'd quite like to go to Bisbee. But you still travel a lot doing stand-up, right?
Yeah.
What kind of club are you looking for? Like, my favorite club in America so far that I've been in is the Works in downtown Denver. I love that club.
Just I worked there once. Didn't have a great time.
You didn't? That's sad.
But I just met Wendy. We just did a podcast.
All right. Yeah, she's good news.
Bert Kreischer.
Yeah.
Works there.
Yeah. The Machine.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Bert, is he a friend of yours?
Yeah.
He's a friend of ours. That's how we say it in the mafia.
Oh,
he's a friend of yours. He's a friend of ours.
Okay.
Now Bert's a made man.
Oh, now we get him.
Yeah. No, we get
this hangover you can see on my face. That was me and Bert till whatever hour last night. And
I imagine Bert can probably tie it on pretty good.
He's a thick bellied man, so he can.
I think he was not drinking the last time I spoke to him.
He did a sober
finished, right?
October.
Yeah,
a sober October. Is that what it was?
And now it's November.
Because I know
it's December. Fuck.
Yeah. You should have that on your Christmas cards. It's December. Fuck. Season's greetings. Because I've been sober for a long time.
I know.
And I remember when Bert was here, he was kind of like, oh man, like he thought I was going to try and evangelicalize him a little bit or something.
Well, Tomas, he said, do you want a coffee or something? Your houseboy? And he said, I go, no, I get a cocktail and Hennigan, my Scotsman. I have my own Scotsman.
You have another Scotsman?
Yeah,
your houseboy is a Scotsman?
My manager's, he's a Scotsman too.
I didn't know that. Is he here?
Yeah, he's right there.
We should bring him in.
You should.
Yeah.
Dueling Scotsman?
No, I don't. There can be only one.
No. He's a posh boy. He's a fancy lad. He doesn't.
Oh, Edinburgh.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah. Hunter Square.
Oh, Hunter Square. Oh, yes.
Just right across from the Tron.
Oh, yes. No, I know exactly where that is. That's a completely different type of Scotsman. That's a very different thing altogether. So, have you ever played there? You ever done the Edinburgh Festival?
That's how I met Hennigan.
Oh, really?
Yeah, 2002. He brought me over there. My first time at Edinburgh, did like 8 shows or something.
How did you like it?
I fucking hated it.
Did you really?
Well, the first time was new.
Right.
But going back, I don't like crowds. Festivals are great to show up and party.
Yes.
But to do the grind and do the partying,
it's a bit like being
shows.
a juggler or something. Yeah, I know. I never. We did it this year. I hadn't done the Edinburgh Festival in 20 years or something, and I did it this year. Like, but it's good. But
I'd stay at his flat, and right outside that window, Hunter Square.
Mm-hmm.
You're wide awake at 8 o'clock in the morning because you're hearing screams because there's a fucking juggler on a unicycle,
right,
and everyone's yelling.
Peruvian flute band, a lot of tons of Peruvian flute bands.
Why are they there?
I don't know.
I actually remember sitting in front of actually South Park did a thing about that. That was kind of it was kind of a thing. Everywhere.
The Peruvian flute bands?
They were around for a while, yeah.
Oh.
Every farmer's market?
Yeah, they were for a long time. And there's the guy with the steel drum who's never even been to the Caribbean. I mean, it's like, there's all of that. The Scottish guy with the steel drum. Welcome. Oh, aye. Hey, aye. Rastafarian.
Do you know Glenn Wool?
The name
very
rings
funny comedian. He's a Canadian, but lived in London. I don't know where he is now. He's a traveler of sorts. But I remember seeing him several days into the Edinburgh Festival or weeks in, where he was just a zombie. And I'm eating breakfast, and I see him wandering up the street, and he said, "I'm doing a children's party."
Oh, Jesus.
There's a show for children, but they did adult comedy for children, and that's they have every kind of racket going on. Anything where they can make 25 pounds to offset the loss. And he said he had to do ecstasy. He was up for 3 days at that point.
Yeah, and
this time he had to do ecstasy to stay awake to do this children's party.
So it's more like a vitamin at that point, then, really.
Yeah, I gotta.
Do you still do the hallucinogens? You still do them?
No, I haven't done them. Well, I always say I haven't but there's always, there was that one time, but maybe once a year.
Yeah.
Ecstasy, maybe.
I haven't done acid
I don't want to see the baggage I have.
I don't want to see. I never want. Acid's the only one I kind of deeply regret. Because I think acid kind of turns on a little valve that I kind of wish I hadn't turned on. I always feel that the terror of bad acid is always kind of just walking a few paces behind you. It always stays with you a little bit.
I've only had 2 bad trips, and I've tripped a lot. And one was mushrooms and one was ecstasy, which was probably not ecstasy.
Right. It was probably acid.
Or fucking something
to
clean pools
formaldehyde
with.
or something. Yeah. It's funny, though. I went, I've told Joe about this, in Glasgow years and years and years ago. On one of my early acid trips. I only took about 30 trips. But one of the early ones, I was like, I'm going to try and do it right. I'm going to, see a movie. Just going to sit and relax and watch a beautiful movie just all over me. So I go and see. I didn't know anything about it. I just walked to the ABC cinema on Sucky Hall Street in Glasgow, and I bought a ticket for a movie called Poltergeist. And I was tripping out my brains. And I watched Poltergeist when Carol Ann's going into the TV and stuff, and I'm like, ah! But I couldn't leave because I had to know what was happening. It was fucking terrifying. It was just awful.
I don't. It was. I'm sure mushrooms, but I tripped to Avatar. When Avatar came out, you go, "Oh, that would be great to trip to." And we just bought a brand new big screen, 55-inch, and I have a small house, so
it looks even bigger. Right.
It's like being in the front row of the movie theater, and all the special effects were lost. I was so intrigued at how shitty the storyline was. Like, this movie stinks. Like, fuck the special effects. Like, if I had it on mute, it would have been perfect.
Well, for next time.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Do you ever think there'll be a time? Because you don't seem to be someone who's out of control, though. You seem to be able to, enjoy excess and be able to live there.
Yeah.
Does it ever get in the way of your life? Does it ever, do you ever feel like you're... it's out of control, that you got to try and figure it out? Because I couldn't stay in it. I couldn't live in it.
I did a 5-day, I called it the Joe Lunch Bucket 5-day rehab coming into this tour, because I just coming off tour, I get booze shakes really bad.
Right.
If I drink too much too consistently, like on the road, all right, I'm going to fly. Fuck. First class. Hey, it's free drinks. I'm losing money if I don't drink. So, yeah, I'll get booze shakes. I smoke way too much.
You smoke cigarettes?
Yeah, hard.
Yeah,
that's the one that... That's the one that'll kill me, and no one will go, it's time someone's going to do an intervention.
Well, see, that's the weird thing, because I remember giving up. So, if cigarettes didn't kill you, I'd still smoke. Like, I have to not drink. It's just someone like me can't drink. I can't do it. And I don't want to do drugs, and I can't do drugs because it's all alcohol. It's all tied into the
boring.
same shit. Right.
I do drugs now because they're prescribed for what I'm doing them for, which seems
right.
wrong.
Well, that's right. I had the root
Xanax
canal.
for anti-anxiety.
Right.
Yes.
You take it for anxiety.
Right.
Right. Well, then that's not drug abuse. That's drug use.
Adderall to pay attention.
Really?
Well, I took an Adderall this morning to be chattier because I don't want to fucking promote a book.
Oh no, but
we should say.
But we will promote the book. We're promoting the book by talking about your life. The book is about your life, and we're talking about you.
Oh yeah. Just in general, when you wake up and you go, "Oh, I'm going to have to go."
Are you doing a lot of that today? You walking around doing it a lot today?
No, just 3 shows.
Oh, that's fine.
Easy.
That's nothing.
No one's that interested. Thanks for having me. By the way,
very interesting.
Just to finish this story,
yes.
Tomas, when we were coming in, he said, "Do you want a coffee?" I go, "No, I have a cocktail." And Hennigan, the Scotsman, says, "I know he doesn't drink, but he's okay with." And Tomas says, "I don't think so." I'll pretend that this is not a cocktail I have in my hand. Then
I don't mind. My wife drinks wine and other things. My children don't drink, and that's the only people I live with. I don't have a problem with it. I never had a problem.
How old are your kids?
16, and 7, almost 7.
Right.
So they don't drink. But the
7-year-old, maybe hitting the Robitussin a little hard.
Well, a cocktail maybe, before guests arrive. but it's kind of funny. I never had a problem with anyone else's drinking. I really didn't. It's me.
Tell Tomas.
Yeah, well, I'll tell him now. It's never come up before.
In his first tongue.
It's Haktik. That's Czech for don't drink.
Oh yeah, no, that is Haktik.
No, I never. I don't care about it. I don't care about other people's drinking. Look, if someone's drunk and sloppy, I don't want to be around it. Same way as who does.
I am so passionate against, because I celebrate being a drunkard.
Okay.
It's part of my life on
your
stage.
Life, yeah.
But people, like, I'll get tweets before a show at 1:30 in the afternoon, pre-gaming for Stanhope, and they're drinking fucking beers in their car. I mean, you're going to be you're going to get thrown out of the show. If you're drinking at 1:30 and it's an 8 p.m. show, you're going to be a fucking asshole, and I'm going to have to throw you out. But I have to own I encourage drinking, but I don't tolerate bad drunkards.
Well, you can say, look, behavior is one thing and drinking is another. If my behavior wasn't unsatisfactory to me while I was drinking, I'd probably still drink. But it was unsatisfactory to me. If I could drink like a gentleman, I would drink. I can't. So that's just self-knowledge. I'm not banging a tambourine for anyone else to stop drinking.
I've given weed every possible audition, and I failed.
Oh, I don't care. I never cared for weed.
I went on Rogan's podcast. We're friends, and I was tripping and drinking.
Are you tripping now?
No. Okay. This is years ago. But I had a show that night in Brea, and I go, I'll smoke some of your... He has that hardcore fucking medical marijuana shit.
Oh, dear God.
And I'm a little bit of mushrooms. Just someone gave them to me after the show. I'm feeling good. Cocktails, smoked some of his weed. I was out of my fucking mind. He had to drive me to the show. I don't remember the show. I remember standing there and trying to mimic my act. Say the words and then apologize repeatedly. I'm sorry, I'm really fucking high, and no one cares.
Did they were you making them laugh?
Rogan he actually went on Twitter the next day and apologized for me for the show. Sorry, I take credit for that show. Hashtag.
Well, he's a friend.
Weed ain't for everyone. So I know I can't smoke weed the same way you can't drink.
I can't drink and I can't do drugs. And what the thing is, I think people mistake that from when I say I can't do it. I think sometimes it sounds to people like you shouldn't do it, and it's not you shouldn't do it. You do what you like. I'm not your dad. I can't do it. And if anybody ever wants to ask me, hey, I want to stop too, how did you do it? Then I'm happy to share that information.
I'm great at cocaine.
Right.
I'm fantastic in that medicinally, like if you have 2 shows in a night and the second show I drank too much the first show, I can do a bump. It'll wake me up. I'm not chasing it all over town for more. I don't. But I know people that are,
I would
just
be.
Cocaine.
Yeah.
More coke. You want more?
I always think cocaine. I always thought if you start taking cocaine, that no matter what you're doing, you stop doing what you're doing, and now you're taking cocaine. It's like, all right, we're going to drive to Vegas. Okay, let's take some cocaine. Okay, now let's forget the car and Vegas and driving and find more cocaine. It just becomes about cocaine.
And that's why I pride myself on a guy that can do a bump when I need it. And I'll be chattier, and then I'm done.
It's refreshing to hear the healthy side of killer narcotics.
The one guy I've never met is a social heroin user. I'm sure they exist.
They do exist. But in order to be that way, and I think I know one, you have to be extremely wealthy and have a lot of help. But it can be done, I think.
Never done it. Have you tried it?
Heroin, yeah, a long time ago.
Snorting?
The chasing the dragon thing, when you kind of inhale it through the tube, but like in your
off
mouth.
Of aluminum foil?
Yeah, aluminum foil, you let fire to it.
Sorry, I'm a huge Intervention fan, so...
So you know it, yeah. But it was a long time ago, and I don't really remember it much because I didn't separate my life into, okay, tonight's about heroin and tomorrow it's cocaine. It's like whatever's around right now, right here, I'll do it. Which I think is one of the reasons why it became so dangerous for me, was because I would do everything in front of me and more. I did not. So that's why I don't take the first drink, because the first drink that I just go crazy after that one. After that, it doesn't matter what's going on. We have to take a break. We'll be right back with Doug Stanhope. We'll be right back.
That's our motto.
That's our motto. today with our special guest, the greatest comedian on earth.
There's funny, and then there's the funniest.
Then there's the funniest. Doug Stanhope is here. He's talking about his book, This Is Not Fame. Tell me why it's called This Is Not Fame.
Because I'm not famous.
Wait, what are you doing here? You fraud! You're famous enough. You got a Wikipedia page and photographs in there. Have you been to jail?
No.
Then, okay.
Not really.
Like
disturbing
jail.
the peace for 2 hours when I was a kid, when I was 17.
This is not jail.
Yeah.
All right. So why is it called This Is Not Fame? Because you're not famous?
Well, what I did is I took a bunch of stories and I strung them together and tried to build a through line to make it seem like a book.
Okay.
And then, that was the through line I found was about famous versus infamy, being around fame. So yeah, it's bullshit.
Would you like to
take
be
a
more
bunch
famous?
of fucking good stories and you put them together and you go, well,
that's entertaining.
Sure.
That's what you want.
Yeah,
I'm going to read it. I won't lie to you and tell you I've read it because I haven't read it yet, but I will read it. Actually.
I think you would.
I think I'll know a lot of people in it.
I kind of write to the back of the room. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, eyes and teeth. Yeah, I get it. People at the back and paid too. Yeah. But what about...
There's no deep meaning, but there's a lot of things about being at the level of comedy where I have a very... It's kind of like death metal. I used to do a joke. I do fetish comedy. Like, not a lot of people are into, however I put it, girls shitting on glass tables.
Right. That's a very old one. I haven't heard of that one in a long time.
That's not
a fashion.
It's not the one I used in the old bit, but the people that are into it will drive a long way to see her live. So that's what I have for a fan base.
Right.
Hey, somebody just called, Andrew in Syracuse called in and said, ask Doug about his girlfriend/ex-girlfriend. What does he mean by that?
I have no idea.
Well, then in that case, I'm not going to ask you about it, nor will I. But so are you sure you don't want to talk about that?
What I'm trying to figure out what girlfriend/ex-girlfriend.
It's a story you told on Stern. Yeah, let's ask you to repeat something you've already said to Howard.
Well, I have a lot of ex-girlfriends.
Do you really? Are you we used to call them players. Are you one of the players?
Very good, Craig.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're very hip.
I'm very hip, right?
Yeah,
that's what we called them back in the day, you know, players. Are you one of them players? I say, son, are you a pimp?
They had cigarettes that were called players when I first started smoking.
Right, with a picture of a sailor on them on the front of the. Do you remember that?
No, it was a black box. That's why we smoked them, because they were black and we were 14 and it was a black box. And it was like Playboy kind of script player.
It was a different box in Britain. In Scotland, it was players, and it was a white box with a picture of a sailor smoking a cigarette.
And now they have the picture of the sailor with his fucking lungs rotting.
They do. And that's the one thing I'd say to you. You got to stop that, man.
I did 5 solid days. Honestly, quitting smoking is so much easier if you live like. I hate the word triggers, but everything that makes me want to smoke is having to deal with people, having to or write, or if I just sit at home. I did 5 days, and it was no problem after 35 years of hard smoking. Yeah. As long as I don't pick up a phone, do anything, someone comes to the house, hey, can we talk? I don't really know this guy. I have to pretend like I like him. No, as long as everyone gets the fuck out of my face, and I sit around on my couch, and I walk my dogs, and I do projects, I don't really need to smoke.
That's what you should do then.
That's what I need to gear my life towards.
Well, I think we've all learned something. Jeez, I'm like Dr. Drew now.
You are. You're the new Drew.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. You have to not what Hollywood won't accept. I don't really need to do any of this shit anymore.
You don't need to do shit. You don't need to do anything.
I know. But then I wouldn't meet you.
Yeah, but you don't need to do this. You don't need to do this show. This show's not going to help your life, other than the fact we get to meet each other and hang out, and that helps me and it helps you.
Yeah,
I think that's all right. There's
nothing
wrong with that.
I'm having a great time.
And I'm very glad that finally someone has the courage to bring an alcoholic beverage into this studio and end this odd prohibition. I seem to have.
I brought several. Don't worry.
Is that what you were sneaking out and doing during the commercial break?
Oh no, I had to go smoke the other half of my cigarette that I put out coming in.
Oh yeah. No, you can't smoke in.
No,
you can't smoke in here. But that's only because Alan Haley But I'm not going to inhale your booze unless you do some weird kind of farty thing with alcohol.
We were
Fart out
just
booze?
we were
Oh,
at
yeah,
Sirius
but-
Radio.
The building?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
did a couple shows there, and we brought mimosas for everyone. We thought people
would do well.
No one.
No one drinks?
Well, the ones that wanted to. Oh, I wish I could. It's a mimosa. Who gives a fuck?
Well, it's different now because you're talking about corporate America versus fucking, this is why I don't understand. It's like, when people, remember when Christian Bale went crazy on that movie set and he yelled at the sound man who blew his take, and some asshole records it and then leaks it to the internet, and I go, wait a minute. You pay Christian Bale $20 million a movie to be an unhinged psychotic. That's his job in the movie, is to play an unhinged psychotic and to be as convincing as as he can be as an unhinged psychotic gentleman. Now, this is not a fucking accountant you're talking about. This is someone who's messing with their psyche in order to deliver you what you want in your movie theater, right? And then you get mad at him for being an unhinged psychotic. That's his job. And
But did they get mad at him?
Yeah. People are, you can't, this is unprofessional. I go, no, it's not. It's completely professional. Who's unprofessional is the asshole who records it and then puts it out on the fucking internet. It's not for everybody. There's no fucking privacy.
Everyone wants to be part of the story.
Right.
Everyone wants to be a fucking rat narc, and this whole hashtag Me Too. I can pick apart. Okay, that's a legitimate beef. Okay, that guy, Weinstein, oh yeah, he's a rapist.
He's a serial rapist, no doubt.
It happened to me too when George H.W. Bush touched my ass in a photo op. All right, you can't fucking march together. You can't steal someone else's thunder of victimhood, if that makes sense. Everyone wants in the game, even if it's victimhood.
Well, I think that everybody is. I mean, it's a fucking odd time. I swear that it is an odd time. Do you avoid topics now because you know it's going to get you into trouble, or do you just
no, nothing? I can't get into trouble.
Really?
There's nothing I can do. The only people that I work for are the people that buy tickets
to come see you. So you would only get into trouble
if I
you were
sobered up,
right,
or became born again. That's the only way I'm going to lose my fans.
Would you ever? Are you ever attracted to either of those things, like sobering up or getting born again?
I had the best time that 5 days of clean and sober. I had a great, peaceful time, and yes, I have nothing against sobriety. I would never
be bad for your career.
I would never be able to do stand-up comedy sober. I would fucking hate it.
I don't know about that. I mean, look, I'm not going to tell you about how to do your job, but I have to tell you, I remember saying the same thing when I was drinking and then going to stand-up. And I thought, I'll never be able to do this sober because it's just not something I can do sober. And I was right at first. What happened was that I went up and I was terrible. But what I noticed was that although I thought I was terrible at doing stand-up, and there was a dip in quality of craziness, over time I noticed that I didn't think I was as good as I used to be drunk. But everybody I talked to said, you're much better than you used to be. You're much better. So it's about perception. I don't know if I buy that.
It's not about the quality. I would definitely do a better quality show sober if I have to drink away the fact that it's so fraudulent to say the same shit every night and act like it's off the top of my head. You're doing a magic act. You're no different than ta-da. Oh, and stumble, stutter, punchline. Oh, it just came out of my mouth. Fuck you, you fucking lying fraud.
Well, but isn't that acting though? Isn't that okay to do that? I mean, if you say,
not when people believe that.
But what's wrong with them believing it?
The downside of hallucinogens is once you're hyper aware of all the levels of how people are reacting, why they're reacting, and people come to 2 shows in a row and the second time they're like, oh, we came for this second show because
thought it'd be different.
It's an act. Yeah.
But is there anything? I mean, do you call it an act? Because it's an act. I mean, look, I'm not. I do that. I go up on stage and I'll do stumble punchline out of nowhere. I'm quite happy. I mean, I don't do the same show every night, but I do similar things.
Structure.
Yeah. And I won't lie to you, if a punchline works, I'm doing it again. You know, especially if I'm tired. You know,
and then you get to the place where it's not funny to you. Like,
yes. That's why I dump the act every 18 months.
That's what I try to do.
Yeah, and just dump all of it. Make a special, dump it. I've got a special coming out tomorrow. I just called it a dump, but but it really is. It's like you get rid of the act and then you go again.
Yeah, you hone it and then you get rid of it.
Right.
And that's what's fucked me up the last couple of years is 2 books where I had a system where it was roughly every 18 months. It naturally progresses to, okay, this is going to be the special. And then the detritus, I'll start with that for the
next one. Yeah. Right.
And then it got fucked up because, all right, now I'm taking 6 months off to write a book.
Right.
And now I'm going back on the road. Okay, what was I doing? Did I do this last time? I had a system over 25 years, and now, all right, I'm going back to Philadelphia. Did I already do this? Do I have to start?
Right.
It's screwed up. I want to do this. I want to go home. I want to just work on a podcast.
Right.
And fuck it. My shit's paid for.
Right. Well, that's the freedom. If you get to the point where you go, okay, look, my rent is paid or my mortgage is paid. I got enough money to, get my alcohol and hallucinogens, the ones that I need or want. That's it. Everything else is gravy. It's when I watch the super rich, when you watch, people I don't understand, like, we could make another $100 million. And I'm like, another $100 million? What the fuck are you going to do with the first $100 million?
I think I talk about that in the book. I would fuck with Stern about that. Like, why do you get up at 4:00 in the morning in the worst city in America and fight fucking traffic to talk for 4 fucking hours?
What'd he say?
He always goofs you. Yeah, I should listen to you. But he doesn't answer you seriously. But
I think Howard genuinely loves what he does, and I think that's why he does it. I think that when you've been engaged in a conversation with Howard, when he's engaged with something, it's a gift that he has that I've never really understood, but like, either talking to him in a studio or listening to him on the radio, I'm like, this is fucking amazing what he does. Yeah. I don't quite understand what it is, but it's amazing. And I think that's what makes Howard do it. I don't think he really does it for money. There was a time years and years ago, I was writing a screenplay with Mick Jagger. It's a long story, but...
No, I heard that. You talked about it on Stern.
Right. So I'm on tour a bit with the Rolling Stones, and what I was fascinated with is not Mick Jagger. I'm not really that interested really in Mick Jagger. But what I was fascinated with was Keith Richards. Keith Richards' life is full of private planes and, mansions and Bentleys and all the trappings of a rock star. But the overwhelming sensation I got from Keith Richards is that just happens to be there. He would live exactly the same life if he was playing in a bar band in Key Largo. He just doesn't care. It's playing music he cares about. That's what he cares about. And that's why he gets up in the morning, or let's be honest, that's why he gets up in the afternoon or early evening and does what he does, because it's
kind of a Forrest Gump kind of situation where all this shit's going on around him, but
really what he wants to do is play guitar. And I think that's that with Howard. I think there's a lot of the noise of the media goes on around him, but when you get, like, for me, the essence of what Howard does, well, not the essence, that sounds too fucking grand.
It does.
But what,
I played along like...
Yeah, I know. We all went there for a minute. I feel bad now. But what I find the most entertaining part for me is when I remember sitting in a car. I was listening to Howard talking to Rosie O'Donnell. And I was like, I was meant to get out of the car and go to a meeting. And I thought, I'm not leaving until this is over. That's crazy. But
several times I've done that.
Yeah, I was just like, no, I have to hear. This is fucking amazing. I don't know what that is. It's like a something that doesn't have a name. It's incredible, and I like that. So
he could do that from his house.
He could
do it in the afternoon.
Yes, he could. He could. I don't know.
I asked Johnny Depp the same thing. Like,
right.
You have all this money. Why do you keep doing this shit? Like, acting is way harder than 4 hours a day on radio. Like,
I don't know if I agree with that.
Well, I mean, the amount of time to do a movie.
It's a time commitment, for sure.
18-hour fucking days.
Yeah.
Like, why do you do this? Why you could just stop? You have enough money. And he said, I have whatever the number was, 65 people I employ.
Right.
Like,
it's a business, yeah.
Yeah, if I stop acting, then, you know, his Guatemalan housekeeper who's been there for fucking 35 years with him, well, there's no more work for you. Beat it. Like, so I go, yeah, I get that. Because, I got a manager and a tour manager and
right.
our wives. Yeah, it's easier for me to yell at people on stage than them to have to go get real jobs. So I get it.
No, I think you would do it. Look, I think if you were making $100 million a year and playing stadiums, you would still do the same act, right?
Well, it's the same. Well,
you'd be the same guy.
Yeah, I'd be the same guy.
You'd be the same guy.
Hey, he's doing the same act.
He's doing it.
Hey, get new material.
Hey, come on! We paid
$100 million.
$85 for these loge tickets. we want spontaneity, and we want filth, and we want it to be spontaneous and controversial. For God's sakes, that's why we come to a stadium. It is an odd thing though. But you know when people say comedy, right? I think they think that. See, my feeling is that everybody thinks they're an expert on comedy because they kind of are. If it makes you laugh, then it's comedy. If it doesn't, it's not. But what they'll do is they go, "That's not. He's not even a comedian." You go, "What are you talking about?" It's like there's fucking people that follow him around the country that love everything he does. Of course he's a comedian. You go, "No, for me, this guy's." It's like saying, I don't know who's a musician. Kenny G. Kenny G is not a musician. Of course he's a musician. I just don't want to hear it. I did a whole stand-up thing about it. I don't want to hear Kenny G.
I have a whole chunk in the book about that.
Really? About
exactly
music?
what people who even I do it. Well, that's not funny to me. Like
right.
I forget to give the caveat. Well, to me, that's not funny.
That doesn't make me laugh. But if it makes you laugh,
but people are very.
I know.
That's not funny.
How
why
dare
is
you
everyone
laugh
laughing?
At that? Yeah. How dare you laugh at that? What? I didn't know you were in charge of who laughs at what. Who the fuck made you the laugh, please? It's crazy. You know who I fucking miss? Who I think is a comedian that would... There's two comedians that I really think that the world is...
Do you want me to write down?
Yeah, you're going to have to write them down. Because these are the two comedians.
All right, one of them better be this one.
All right, you write them down and you tell me who I...
Can't...
Well, you can write it on paper. You don't have to write it on your hand. All right, you write them down.
I don't have my reading glasses.
And I'll tell you if I agree. Do you want my reading glasses?
All right. These are, I assume, two people that are dead.
Yeah, they're both dead. And here's and I'm gonna see.
Hang on.
You write them down.
Are they American?
Yes, they're American.
Okay.
Oh wow. Is this a magic trick?
Well, I don't know. I don't know if he.
And
I don't think he's.
I'll go with the. Oh no! Okay,
I'll write down mine too.
I'm guessing what you. I'm doing America's Got Talent. I'm going to be the brainiard. Fucking what are you? Mentalist. I'm the mentalist.
So Chris Angel.
No. I am going to write down two, and I'm going to.
You're going to guess the ones I'm guessing that you're going to say.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, I see.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. You're going to guess.
But is this the one you're going to say?
What do you think?
Oh, I don't know.
No,
Let's see.
Maybe not.
These are not. One of these is the ones that I'm going to say, and one of them is the ones that I'm not going to say.
This is my.
It's too complicated.
I'm writing down a third one. That's my wild card pick.
Oh, interesting.
All right. Okay.
Go ahead.
All right. Here's the two that I think the world needs who are not here right now. George Carlin. You didn't get that one?
No, I was just saying I should have accounted for your age.
Oh, I see.
George Carlin, Joan Rivers.
Oh, all right.
Joan Rivers has an essential comedic voice that we don't have right now. An essential comedic voice. And I really think the world is a poorer place right now without her doing it. Joan was fucking unbelievably vicious. Unbelievable. Fabulous comedian.
It's a sad fact that at a certain age you discount people,
right.
Except for Rodney.
Right, yeah.
Dangerfield stayed kind of relevant when Joan Rivers' documentary came out.
Right.
And you watched, she was fucking brutal.
I know.
Caustic.
Unbelievable.
Acerbic, dirty, filthy, funny.
Unbelievable.
Oh,
pure comedian.
Once they get Bob Hope age, you go, they probably aren't saying anything.
Right.
And you watch that documentary and you're like, holy fuck. Carlin, of course. I didn't even like Carlin until he got old and angry.
And angrier, yeah.
Yeah,
the angrier he got, the better.
The early, why do we drive in a parkway and park in a driveway? Fuck you. When he got angry, yeah.
You got to start somewhere.
Oh, he was just fucking vicious. Anorexia, some cunt, rich cunt doesn't want to eat. Fuck her. No punchline.
Yeah.
Perfect. I love it. I was going with Mitch Hedberg and Patrice O'Neill.
Oh, yeah. You know what? Both good. Both good names and the names that we need. Hedberg was more of a surrealist, though, I think. Do you think?
I honestly don't understand most words. Like, I don't know a farce or satire. I don't really know what those. I think surrealist.
Well, what I mean with Hedberg is that Hedberg kind of I like the way he was absurd. The reason why I chose George Carlin and Joan Rivers is because they were extremely direct, fearless current affairs commentators. Which I think right now...
I think Joan Rivers was really funny, but I don't think she was... she was saying things to be funny. She wasn't attacking... She wasn't tearing shit down like Carlin was by any means. She was a comedian. He was a social commentator.
Well, both... Okay. Yeah, no, that's fair. But I still think you can be both. And I think... No, I think Joan was doing that. I think she would undercut hypocrisy, a lot. And right now
it's hard to do that from the red carpet.
That's what I think. But I think she did. I think she's an undervalued anarchist.
She was really, really funny. I'm no fucking historian. I don't know why I'm trying to. I'm trying to pick a dog in a fight where I'm a cat person.
Listen, we're out of time.
Thank God I need a cigarette.
Go and have a cigarette. Go and have
goddamn addict.
And come back and see us very soon. It's been lovely talking to you.
Thank you for having me.
The book is called "This Is Not Fame," and it's about it's
war stories. It's war stories.
War stories by one of the greatest, and in fact, the greatest comedian in the world.
Yeah, read the book and you'll know for sure that that's true.
This is not.
What are you going to do with Stone Cold Steve Austin tomorrow?
Well, I'm going to hide the folding chairs. That's for sure. We'll be right back.